Hi. Have you ever walked into a room, got there, and thought, what am I doing here? I can't remember what I came in for. It happens to everyone, but it seems to happen to seniors more frequently than it happens to other people. Well, over the years, I've come across some different techniques to help me remember things easier. And if you stay tuned to this video, I'll share them with you. Have you ever walked into a room, got there, and thought, oh my God, I know I'm here for something. Think, brain, think, what are you here for? And it was a total blank. Well, this started happening to me, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, long before I was called senior. And somebody gave me a piece of advice then, which I laughed at, but I used and found that it actually, in many cases, it worked. And that was, if you walk into a room and you can't remember why you're there, walk backwards back to the room that you came from. Because 9 out of 10 times that rewinds your brain and it'll remind you what you needed. So I laughed at that, but I did it. And son of a gun, more often than not, it worked. Now, as I got older and a little clumsier, walking backwards was not in the cards. So I said, okay, if I want to walk backwards, I can trip myself and kill myself, so it really doesn't matter why I'm going into that room. So how about if I just turn around, walk back into the other room, look around and see if that works. And what do you know? That's worked about 75% of the time. There's still about 25% of the time when I have no idea why I went into that room. But my house hasn't burned down. I'm still alive. And my health hasn't suffered, so I guess it wasn't terribly important. But that is a little cute memory trick, and you might try it. Let me know in the comments below if you've used something like that and how it's worked for you. And if you've used something other than what I'm talking about, please share it with me so that I can make another video and share it with all the rest of us. Over the years, I have used a number of techniques to twang my memory. One of the most successful until recently was using lists. When you're busy, having a list of items, a to-do list such as it is, to just niggle your memory to remind you not to forget anything is a very good idea. And how I used my list was quite simple. I would have a to-do list, I would date it daily, and I would begin to write down those things that I felt I needed to do, no matter how minor or how major I do it. I would then prioritize the list in an ABC fashion. A meaning it really should get done today. It's important. B meaning it's important, but it's not time sensitive, so it can be done 3 or 4 days, hopefully within the week. C, it's something that's important, but it's not pressing. And so it's something I can keep putting off until I get around to doing it, or until it takes so long to do it, it moves up the list from C to B and possibly to A. But that's how I prioritized how to get my day going. The busier we are, the more important it is to keep organized with something. But that is a good memory jogger. It's a good piece of information for anyone that wants to stay organized. And actually, being organized is a real key, I think, to being happy. Because one of the things that makes us so unhappy is if we forget things or we've left someone somewhere we were supposed to meet them, or any number of things that just basically boils down to being organized. So let's put lists on our number one way to jog our memory. Other ways that I found were tape recorders. Now, in a day when tape recorders were very easy to come by, and they were the little micro minis, and they weren't much bigger than a pack of cigarettes, that was a wonderful way, if you didn't have a pad of paper handy, to just make a list. Keep it with you, and anytime you thought of something, put it on the tape recorder list. And by the way, I was very active as a young woman. I didn't work outside the home, but I did work very hard with all kinds of projects. And that little tape recorder saved my bacon so many times because it kept me organized. Unfortunately, the tape recorders they make today have so many bells and whistles. They can do so much more than just what I wanted them to do. That when I bought one, I couldn't figure out how to use it because it kept sending me to different files. I said, I don't want a file. I want to be able to tape something. But that's just me. So moving on from lists, there are other ways that can help with memory jogging. So my daughter got me a Alexa, and I decided to use it in a way to remind me of things. And she's sitting over here, so I'm going to call her Alexandra so she doesn't wake up and drive us both nuts. But when I would say, Alexandra, would you remind me to go in and stir the chicken? And that worked very well because she would say, when would you like me to remind you? And I would think, okay, I need that in 10 minutes. And I would say, in 10 minutes. And so she would remind me. I also would say to her if I was doing the laundry, Alexander, would you set the timer for 15 minutes? And then I'd know to go back and double check on the laundry. And that worked too. And I think these modern technologies with the droids have a tremendous place in our society, and they are helpful. I have several things that I must do every single day in order for me to feel my best. One of those is to take a vitamin between meals. And so I have reminded my Alexandra to every morning at 10:30 to remind me to take this vitamin. And it's been a big help. But what I also noticed about that was that many days I will say, Alexandra, what time is it? And it will be 10:28. And the reason that I mention that is that it began to train me to remember that I had to take this vitamin every day at 10:30. The same thing goes for my eye drops. I have a very slight case of dry eye, and I have allergies, so I end up taking an allergy medication, which also tends to, dry the eyes. So I have 8, 12:30, 4:30, and 10 o'clock at night. I have Alexandra remind me to take my eye drops. What it's done has helped me remember to take my eye drops even if I'm not home. The repetitiveness of doing it the same each day has helped to train my memory and that inner clock that we all have to begin to do things at a certain time. Have you noticed doing anything like that? Put a comment below and let us know how you have used time to help you with your memory. And have you noticed that you're beginning to remember it without being reminded? There is a company called Luminosity that specializes in brain games. And I recommend that you go and take a look at their website, Luminosity, and check them out. Those of you that don't have vision problems, Luminosity might be the key to keeping your mind young and subtle and flexible. I hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. If you like, you can subscribe. And if you subscribe and hit the little bell down below, that will alert you when the new videos are coming out. I look forward to talking with you in future videos, and I look forward to your comments and your help in giving me topics that seniors want to talk about. So until next time, bye for now.